Let's talk about faith for a second. So the other day I was looking at Mark 6, chapter 6, and it basically talks about the prophet without honor. And this is when Jesus went back to his hometown, and we get to hear that people were offended when they found out that he's the Messiah. Now they were offended. And later on, as you continue to read, it actually talks and says that Jesus, because of the lack of faith, he could only do a few miracles. He says that he could only do a few miracles, or no miracles, except laying hands on the few and healing them. And then later on it says that he was amazed by their lack of faith. And that made me think to myself, imagine that there was probably around 100 people who were ill in that space, in that hometown, and I'm just making an example, then 10 got healed. That means the 90 remained in bondage, all because of lack of faith. Whether it was healing, whether it was sickness, whether it was whatever it is, that they missed out on that healing, they missed out on that breakthrough because of lack of faith. And it just sobered me reading this, because you actually cannot do anything without faith. That actually, truly, your breakthrough is dependent on your faith. When you look at these people, obviously they chose to be offended. But at the end of the day, without faith, you really could be blocking healing, breakthrough, blessings, all the things that you need to overcome. And so, that really did sober me. That have you actually taken time to check your faith? I had to check my faith really, and just check the things that I really am believing for. How do I move as a person who is in God's kingdom? Do I truly walk in faith? Am I believing that God can move? And am I walking in action in my faith? Because as it says, faith without works is dead. And that really sobered me, because really you can be staying in bondage if you do not have faith. And so I actually speak about this on my podcast, the Arts and Blast podcast. This is where basically faith and creativity meet. This is where those who are faithful and very creative get to sit down and eat a whole lot of God's word, but also get inspired by how can we involve God and our faith into our creativity. You can check it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as well as YouTube.